guys, welcome to the channel, and don't forget to like, subscribe and share and leave a comment if you like. And if you are somebody who's been watching these videos and not doing any of those things, what you waiting for? But anyway, guys, today I am analyzing Cindy Watts. Yes, Cindy Watts, the mother of Chris Watts. Now, we've already done a video on that, so go ahead and look at that video. And I'm just going to be looking at her and giving my opinion and my breakdown on her psyche and her behavior. So let's get right to it. This is Cindy here, and she is being interviewed not long after the incident with her son. So let's have a little bird's eye view of what she has to say.
I wake up every morning just crying, thinking this is not going to be what's going to happen every single day. It's just so hard to get through it.
The thing is, yeah, you could really feel sorry for this woman because of what she's saying. Her son has committed some sick crime, and you can see and hear the distraughtness in her body language, and you can hear it in her voice. Clearly, there is a love there for her son, and obviously, she would have loved her grandchildren, you would hope, as well. But the problem is, she has no remorse at all for Shanaan. Shanaan and her family, they actually lost somebody because of one of your relatives. And where you can't always control people, well, you can't really control people as such, especially grown-ass people, it's just very hard to feel sorry for her. And it's hard. What I'm trying to say is, it's hard to feel sorry for her because of the fact that she hasn't felt nothing for Shanaan. There's no talk of Shanaan and what her son did. Nothing. Nothing at all. Let's continue.
I just don't know how to get through it.
Tell me about his childhood. Did he play sports? Was he in scouts? What kinds of things did
he played sports. He played sports from the time he was 5 years old up until he was 17. And he was in basketball, he was in baseball, he was in football, and loved NASCAR. He and his dad went to the NASCAR races all the time. Loved sports. And he was a good kid. Had two best friends, and that's who he grew up with, and still are friends with them today. And there's nothing that would have predicted any of this could have ever happened.
Yeah.
Nothing in his childhood at all. I would have never in a million years thought something like this could happen to him.
Now, can you hear what she's saying? Happened to him. In her own way, she's still not admitting that it happened to them. It happened to Shanaan and her two daughters. It didn't happen to your son. Your son is the one who actually committed the crime. I can really sympathize and say that it must be so difficult to even think. Your mind is fighting and trying to get away from the thought, or even it can't even process the fact that something that you bore would do something like that. So I understand that on every level. I can sympathize with it. I can't really feel what she's feeling, but I can sympathize with it. That the fact that she doesn't want to face it. But my issue, like I keep saying, which I've said before, is that she has no remorse for the other family and the people that literally lost their lives. And this is the thing. I would feel more sympathy for Cindy if she didn't go on to say what she went and basically what she says about Shanaan. Because I personally, based on what I see, I don't see no reason for it. I really don't see any reason for it. But let's continue.
At all.
You didn't see things like him getting into fights?
No fighting. He was quiet. And
The thing is, just because you get into a fight as a kid, which is kind of like normal, it don't make you a bad kid. I mean, if you were there just going around beating people down, that'll probably make you a bad, what we would deem as being a bad kid. Just because you sat there and you were quiet. Sometimes the quiet ones, as they say, are the worst ones. And that's not saying all you quiet people are the worst ones, but, it's hard to know what's going on in your head unless you're psychic. But, and there's more time for plotting when you're keeping that stuff inside. So at the end of the day, it just doesn't mean that. The fact of the matter is, as we're beginning to learn, there are all kinds of people, psychos and people like this, all types. Some who are just cold-blooded will go out there and they'll be doing this consistently. And then you got some, if you're in their way, you gotta go. And obviously, you can see it doesn't matter who it is. Whether you're their mother, father, children, it don't matter who you are. If you are in the way to their life of what they want out of life, you got to go. So there's all kinds. In his childhood, maybe there was just not anything that made him want to take anybody out. Or maybe this man is just full of demons. I mean, didn't he already speak about having some dark force take over him? For those who don't get this stuff and not about this stuff, that's fair enough. But for those who may understand this situation with these types of things, understand that, yes, as a spirit, there are dark spirits that can take over you. But you have to be open to them, literally. You have to be on their level. There's got to be something going on with you that's kind of dark for them to really take over you. And it doesn't happen to everybody, but some it does. Anyway, let's continue.
He got along with people. And he didn't start anything. And he was a perfect teenager, tell you the truth. He did not even rebel. He wanted to go to NASCAR Tech. We made that possible for him.
What did he do after he finished school?
He worked at the dealership as a service technician and was making good money and loved it. He bought a toolbox and he started buying his tools and enjoyed it. He was doing well.
When and where did he meet Shanaan?
They met and he liked her, she liked him, but I don't think that was love at first sight or anything. They took a little while and I guess got to know each other and, dated. It was always a little strange that she always said a lot of things about Chris in front of me that I didn't like. Like, this isn't the kind of person I would date. He doesn't know how to do this, or he doesn't know.
You know what? You know why I believe, based on what she's saying here, that I don't find this to be that truthful? Because with Cindy, she made it very clear from the beginning that she didn't like Shanaan. Anyway, let me just mention this first. Most people are not going to go to somebody's parent or parents and tell them that I wasn't really into your son. I didn't really like your son or your daughter or whatever. Who in the hell's going to do that? That don't even sound true. That doesn't even sound right. Who would do this? Who? Who would be crazy enough to do it? But in her circumstances, because of the way Cindy is, she made it clear that she didn't like Shanaan. Very clear. So there's no way that Shanaan is going to sit down there and discuss Chris in this way to someone that she knows doesn't even like her. It's stupid. So what she's saying doesn't even doesn't even add up. It don't make no sense that Shanaan's going to keep just sitting down there like saying, oh, well, you know, he's this and that, and just consistently complaining about him, and you don't even have a relationship like that. It don't make no sense at all. So I personally, on this one, I don't believe her.
How to do that. He looks like a skater boy. Look at his hair. Look how much stuff he puts on his hair. It was just on and on.
The thing is, maybe she might have said something like that, and I'm probably at the beginning as a joke. And I can imagine the way it was said. Oh, look at him, he looks like a skater boy. Look at what he's putting in his hair. And I bet it was just like in joke. You know, you might just take the pee out of someone a little bit. You know what I mean? But now she's making it sound like she was just sitting there saying, oh, look at his hair, and, you know, he... And look at her face. And this is what I'm saying. This girl has lost her life because of your son. Your son is responsible for the passing of her and her grand. And this is why I have no sympathy for this woman at all. None. Look at her face. This woman is in the ground and went in the ground pregnant, and her daughter's thrown away like garbage because of your son. And you sit there with your face, snarling up your face, speaking about, oh, she said this about his hair and blah, blah, blah. And this is why I have no sympathy for this woman whatsoever.
On, and I just got a bad feeling.
You're the bad
married
feeling.
In 2012, did they get married in North Carolina?
They did. Mm-hmm.
How was that?
We didn't attend.
Really?
Mm-mm. We didn't attend because Shanaan and I just couldn't get along. And
no, you could not. Look at her face. Look at it. You couldn't get along with Shanaan. That's what it was. Shanaan would have, based on how Shanaan, I can see the kind of personality, she would have done her best to try and get on with you because you are the mother of her husband. You didn't like her. You found certain things. Shanaan is a very, based on me analysing her personality, a very much, even though, before I get to that bit, she might be a little bit bossy. So what? That's a lot of the population. So what? She might have that in her, but she was a go-getter. And she was about just doing what she needed to do. Strong character, a go-getter. Nobody is perfect. If anybody is saying they're perfect, they need to go somewhere. You need to go somewhere, because being on this earth and being perfect, there will be no reason for you to be here. Your spirit needs to jump out and go on where it needs to go, because you're in the wrong place. Everybody, we're all here to learn something. We're all here to grow if you choose to. That's it. Some people don't want to. They stay where they're at. It is whatever you choose to do. You have free will. But this woman snarls up her face. She has, you know, she has nothing for this woman, even in the fact that she's transitioned, or people call it death. Even in death, she still feels nothing for this woman. Look at the face. And this is what your son did. The beast that came out of you.
I didn't like the way she treated him.
What do you know about their marriage and their issues?
Oh, very little. Very little. You can only observe. I could only observe what I saw when I was around them. Christopher always seemed anxious, and he when she needed something, I mean, he would run. He wouldn't walk, he would run, he would get it. He just always seemed to be right there at her beck and call.
But like I said in the other video, as soon as he lost the weight, looking more buff, now getting more attention, and found a girl that he liked and started a relationship, all anxiousness seems to just dissipate. It seems to just dissipate, and now you have now he has the confidence to want to leave. Now he has the confidence. He needs to leave now. How did he find all this confidence? All of a sudden, he's got all this confidence, but never had it before. Never had it before the girl. Are you serious?
And did that seem odd to you? Or?
Very odd. It was very odd. He just seemed nervous.
So how much did you...
Yeah, he was nervous. He was the victim. He was walking around in a relationship as, just nervous. Apparently, there is no front door to walk out of. He couldn't end the relationship. He couldn't walk away. He couldn't do any of this sort of stuff. He was the victim, and she was to blame for every single thing. Yeah.
You see them over these last 6 years?
Probably twice a year. We would go up there.
Did you stay with them? Or?
Yeah, we would stay with them and stay a week and then come back home.
Tell me about Bella and Celeste.
Oh, Bella was just like Chris.
Seriously, like, wow. You know what? Seriously, wow. Oh, just like Chris. Yeah, she's no longer like that. Because where did she end up?
Just like him, shy, cautious, conservative. Cece was a ball of fire.
But never would say, oh, Cece was like the mother. There is just this hate. Some people, there is just this hate, and none of us can be sure exactly what went down. But I mean, you can kind of just read the little bit that we do have. You can kind of read between it. You could, if you look at the personalities and analyze the kind of people that they are. With Cindy, you can see that she would just, if you're just a certain way, like I said, that, what's her name was a go-getter. Shanaan was a go-getter. She was a strong individual. Cindy ain't gonna like you. If she was just more submissive and, I don't know, just a certain way. Not to say that even Shanaan didn't have that side to her, but I don't know. If she would bow down to Cindy, Cindy probably would be like, oh yes, this can work for us. But Shanaan was just the type that it just weren't gonna work.
And she was fearless, completely fearless.
Like her mother. She was a go-getter.
It was wonderful. It breaks my heart to know that they're not here.
Yeah, because of your son.
They were beautiful children. Beautiful children.
What did they call you?
Mimi.
Mimi? How about Ronnie? What did they call?
Papa.
Do you think Chris loves Shanaan?
Oh, God, he loved her. Yes, I believe he loved her at first. I believe he did. But I think as the years...
Personally, I don't think Chris knows what love is. I'm sure he said, unless I dreamt it, that it was said that he didn't even... He must have put in the search, what is love, or something like that when they were looking at his history. So I don't even think he even knows what love is. He doesn't know what it is. Not really.
Went on, I think it just being in that kind of a relationship, which the social worker even said that marriage should have ended a long time ago.
Shanaan's pregnancy and was what did Chris tell you about that? Was he excited?
No, I don't think he was.
No, he wasn't excited because he had already met someone else. He'd already met someone else. So he was already out the door. That's the only reason. That's the main reason. He was already out the door. He didn't want another child because he already had planned to leave her. He was already gone. I'm not saying that he didn't have something for her. I don't know what that is in people like this. I don't know. But he had his eye on someone else. He was romantically involved and that's who he wanted. He didn't want the responsibility. He didn't want to, be in a relationship and with children and debts and all this responsibility. So he was out the door. He left the building. So of course he's not going to want the new child.
I think it was a shock to him. And he said that they have been talking.
What do you mean it was a shock? You still don't know how the birds and the bees work? What do you mean it's a shock? If you go bare, if you bear and go bareback in somebody, the chances are they probably may get pregnant. Since when was that something that someone don't know? Grown-ass man that already has 2 other children. He was shocked. Please. Are you kidding?
About divorce. That, they are not compatible anymore. And he was not happy anymore. And I finally thought he's finally seen the light.
What light are you talking about? What light? No one did anything to him. It's almost like she's saying that he was held down, he was gagged, he had a ball and chain, he couldn't move. I don't know what light this woman is talking about.
And I take it Chris had never been in trouble with the law.
Never. He's got 1 speeding ticket. You didn't even know about that.
Tell me what happened when they were reported missing. What did you find out? How did you find out? Who told you?
I think Ronnie called me. Ronnie called me and said that they're missing, and I thought, I don't believe it. I didn't believe they were missing. I believed that she was going to punish Chris. She was just going to punish him, take the girls, and just punish him. I had no idea of anything else. Christopher called and said, Mom, they're searching the house. I said, okay, that's fine. And I still was not worried. I was not worried. I just thought Shanaan had run off with girls.
Right, now I've forwarded it and I've got to the bit where she's speaking about Chris being arrested and being questioned, and he's phoned the dad to come, and he wants to know he's actually speaking to the dad on the phone. So we've got to this bit, so let's see what she's saying.
That your son wants to talk to you before he tells us anything. And that's when Christopher broke down and cried and said, I'm sorry, Dad. He said, I went into a rage and I killed her after she killed Cece and Bella.
You see how he still lied? All of that crying and carrying on. And all of that crying is really coming from the fact that he doesn't really see a way out at that point of what he's going to do. He can't see a way out at that point. All of that crying to the dad and tells lies. This woman, my gosh, you can see how much that woman loved her children. She loved those children.
And he found out where he is, and then they wouldn't let him see him. He couldn't see him. And so he was going back to the airport when his public defender called him and told him to come back. So and that's when Ronnie met his public defender. And so talked to her for a while. And they kept in touch with us and let us know what's going on.
And then what was the next update that you got? Was it?
The next update I got was Ronnie called Jamie and told them they found their bodies. And they rushed over here.
Right, I'm pretty much going to leave it there. I don't want this video to get super, super long because it's quite, But anyways, yeah, that's really what I wanted to point out. Like, that there is just no remorse. And with this family, I mean, there's still quite a lot of bits and pieces you can go through with their conversations on the phone and, everything that's been said, and her speaking about their reputation and them talking as if nothing. I'll probably go through some of that at a later date. Even the sister acting as if nothing has happened out of the ordinary, or maybe he's been in prison for something minor. The whole thing is just weird. It really is just weird, the whole thing. But I will do another video at some point about like I said, with some of the conversations. But I just wanted to point out that. And then the fact is, people are, I didn't even know this was happening, but people saying that, oh, because she was bossy, or because she was like, they'll talk about how she was in her videos. Personally, I've seen some of those videos, and I don't see anything in those videos that makes me think that Shanaan is some kind of monster, or, you know, she's abusive. I'm looking for it and I don't see it. So I don't know, people are just creating something. I'm still looking for it. I mean, obviously, if there's evidence that comes out that shows that this woman is it, then I'll look at it and say, yeah, well, nah, I'll say what I have to say. I don't care who you are. But the fact that it's like people are trying to find a reason why this man had to do what he had to do, because it's almost like a lot of people feel like if we can't find the reasoning for this shit is scary. Because I could meet someone one day and all of a sudden he switches like this. It's a certain type, people. There's a certain type of being. Not everybody is heartless like this. There's a certain type of individual who would do this. These people don't tend to know how to love, don't have no love in their heart. They get on in society, but they don't have what you may have. So this is not just anybody will turn around and do this. Otherwise, we would have multiple cases of people just doing this. And more time, when you look at cases where people kill their children, they usually kill themselves afterwards. Maybe they're going to take out their family. They usually commit suicide afterwards themselves. They usually just kill everybody plus themselves. I don't know why they don't just take their own self out if that's what they want, if that's what they choose, and leave everybody else alone. The selfishness is real. That you would take somebody else out as if they said, oh, could you take me with you? I don't think they want to go anywhere. That wasn't the plan. You go on about your business and do what you need to do. If you want to leave the planet, then do you, boo, as they would say. Ugh. But anyways, most people, but in these cases, with him, he wanted a new life, and that was it. And he did not want the responsibility of his old life. And even that picture of, I have to look at that doll with covered over as if it's under some kind of white sheet, like something died. It's very peculiar, that picture that was sent. But that just seems to, that looks to me like that's a dead body. Some kind of image of a dead body. There was just some kind of psycho, I don't know, some weird stuff going on there. But I will look into it again on another video. But guys, I'll be coming again, with another video. I just want to say, we all have our opinions on this. And I'm just looking at the evidence. So I'm just looking at what I see and what I feel. And then I'm going with that. Whatever your opinion is, fine, work with that. I'm just running with my own opinion. And like I said, any more evidence comes to light, then I'll look at that evidence. But guys, thank you for joining me on this channel on Connect the Dot Media. And come back again very soon, because I'll be doing weekly videos. I'll be putting up some weekly videos. And yeah, so I will speak to you soon. And all the videos, I'd like to say that not all the videos are true crime, but they are extremes of situations. Yeah. So anyway, guys, I'll speak to you soon. Take care. And don't forget to subscribe, share, comment, and all that good stuff. Take care. Speak to you soon. Bye.